Vasyl Lomachenko looks to be on holidays, and what is he doing with his time? After probably the most, I would say the highest rated win of his career, the domination of Guillermo Rigondeaux has taken him to another level, whether he likes it or not. Definitely gained a little bit more notoriety, and the comparisons to Floyd Mayweather have just begun. Vasyl Lomachenko is out duck hunting right now. One of my favorite things to do is go duck hunting. High tech with a boxing glove. Let's see what else, man. These comments are hilarious because there's a lot of at Gervonta Davis. It seemed like Vasyl Lomachenko is hunting out for ducks that includes Gervonta Davis. If you know what I mean. Shots fired. Keep this account that will become the best boxing. We'll take it to 10K. Vasyl Lomachenko out here duck hunting. And shout out to the hunters out there. Because Lomachenko looking, man, he's looking fly out here with the fucking, oh, he's got the high tech vest, all that shit, man. Lomachenko, he's doing okay. We'll find out if he catches a duck. Man, these comments are hilarious. At Gervonta, he's Gervonta Davis hunting. Gervonta Davis hunting. At Gervonta and Floyd Mayweather, y'all still talking shit? How about how y'all the best, but don't fight the best, especially in their primes? I don't know about that. Floyd fought some awesome fighters in their prime. Gervonta Davis, I can't say the same. You know, it seems like Tank Davis needs to get his act straight. I think it's clear that he's not ready for Lomachenko right now, but he will be in the near future. And you know, I'd say he's 2 or 3 fights away. Lomachenko should be looking at guys like in his division. I'd want to see him fight the champions, and if he wants to move up in weight, that's up to him. But Lomachenko's doing all right. Oh, here's Zach 805. Because he's the white hype and you fall for it. Crawford would beat the dog shit out of Loma. Mikey would smash him. I think Davis gives his ass work too. He's overrated and y'all just casual cheerleaders. Whoo! Zach 805. One win against an undersized 40-year-old opponent doesn't make you great either. Plus he lost to another 40-year-old. And y'all trying to compare him to Floyd, like I said. Oh boy, so Gervonta taking, you know, Gervonta Davis, you know, as soon as he got that belt, people were asking him about Lomachenko. And Tank really didn't give him anything to be going after. You know, he didn't really look at Lomachenko and say, that's the guy I'm gunning for. No. He sort of stayed in his own lane, and he's drifted away from a Lomachenko fight, even though they're in the same division. I think a lot of people want to see that fight. I think Lomachenko is very smart for calling out Davis, considering he's a Mayweather fighter. This is all very smart, and this is similar type of tactics that Bob Arum has implemented with Manny Pacquiao back when, you know, it was very clear that Manny Pacquiao wouldn't be fighting Floyd. Always weeks before the fight, you'd think he's fighting Floyd because all the media's talking about is Pacquiao versus Mayweather, when no fights, nothing has been done to make that fight. You know what I mean? So Bob Arum has a history of hyping up his fighters, using Mayweather's name, and now it's turned into Mayweather's fighters' names, because who knows if Bob Arum really wants to make that fight? You know, who really knows? Lomachenko might call for it. We'll see how aggressive he is in terms of calling out fighters from the PBC, Tank Davis being one of them. I think Rantis Barthélemy, I think he's somewhere in that area. But some people think Davis is a bum. I mean, in his last fight, he was clearly not at his best. And when Tank Davis is at his best, he looks sensational. But we want to see that guy against world-class fighters to ensure he's the real deal. Because we don't know right now if Tank Davis is the real deal. We know Lomachenko is. Lomachenko's a real deal. Alright, there's your boy firing back at Zach. But your dumbass don't see that Rigo was the one who called him out. He asked for it, and now Loma is calling your boy out to expose his overrated. Yo, Lomachenko, man, he's on a hot streak right now. Out here fucking duck hunting. And what, it's interesting because he beat a guy that would, in my opinion, would be considered one of the more ducked fighters in boxing. And that's Guillermo Rigondeaux. And you can tell, even as we speak, Carl Frampton could have called out Rigondeaux because he's fighting. He was looking for an opponent in Ireland, and it looks like they end up making a fight with Nonito Donaire. So these are two guys that could have easily, one has lost to Rigondeaux. Carl Frampton has avoided that fight for years. And he's choosing to fight Rigondeaux's leftovers. Okay, that's fine. That'll be a great fight. And who knows? Carl Frampton might get his ass knocked out. Because Donaire ain't no slouch. But, and it would be interesting if Donaire won. It would be interesting. Because I would still like to see. You see, even right now, I think Nonito Donaire's a bit past it. In terms of where he's at as a fighter. But we never got to see Nonito Donaire versus Vasyl Lomachenko. I think that would have been a super interesting fight. Since I think Donaire would be the physically bigger guy. And he would face a similar type challenge that Rigondeaux had faced when he fought Donaire. But I do see Vasyl Lomachenko just outpointing him, outscoring him, outmaneuvering Donaire. Donaire's he's not a technical mastermind by no means. And Vasyl Lomachenko will probably smoke him. I think he would. Lomachenko, I still want to see him fight Miguel Roman. I haven't heard those two names out of anyone's mouth. And I would like to see that fight. I saw a quick headline talking about Miguel Roman and Miguel Berchelt. Those two might be looking for a fight. They might be. It's interesting, man. It's a lot of these guys, Berchelt, Roman, Salido, they all want to fight each other. But when it comes to Lomachenko, no one's calling him out either. Who's calling out Lomachenko for a fight? The last guy that called out Lomachenko for a fight was Guillermo Rigondeaux. And this goes back to the point that I'm trying to make. Vasyl Lomachenko, by beating one of the most ducked fighters at 122, 126, by beating him unintentionally, he might carry that legacy on. He might carry that ducked type, he might carry that with him. That Lomachenko might be this next duck guy, even though Mikey Garcia called him out. Who else? Is anyone else calling out Lomachenko? Mikey Garcia seems to be the only guy that wants that work right now. And it's going to be so interesting when things heat up in that division and fights get made, because you know what? It's time for these champions to fight each other, man. It's time. No question about it. I think Lomachenko wants to unify that division. If not, move up and wait and find the next big challenge, man. That's what he's got to do, because right now he's taking them names, and he's got Rigondeaux under his belt. And he's a couple more victories from being neck and neck with Terrence Crawford. Absolutely. If he can unify 130, he's right up there with Terrence Crawford, and people are going to start calling him. You know, I already told you people were going to start calling him number 1 pound for pound after he beat Rigondeaux. I already told you that. And here we are, and he's number 2, and I know ESPN wants to put this guy up there at number 1, but and I think they have already, if I'm not mistaken. It's either him or Triple G. And they have Crawford at number 3, which is just retarded. But you guys let me know what you think. Vasyl Lomachenko out here at .content, eKing Fight News. Smash the like button.